everyone, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be filming my apartment tour. So if you didn't know, I moved to a new apartment a little bit less than a month ago, like 3 weeks ago. So yeah, I'm really excited to film this video, but before I get into the actual apartment tour, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the cost of this apartment compared to my last apartment, a little bit about how I found this apartment and why I moved to this apartment. So if you are interested, then keep on watching. So if you have seen my videos, then you know that I live in Sejong. So I don't live in Seoul, I don't live in a super big city, and I was placed in Sejong with the epik program. So I am an epik teacher. I have been teaching English here in Korea for a little bit over a year, so I'm on my second year. And previously I was put in Jochiwon. So my apartment was in Jochiwon, but my school was in Sejong City. I didn't mind being in Jochiwon, even though Jochiwon is a smaller town compared to the Sejong City and just the city life in general. It's a little bit more chill, laid back. It's not as modern and shiny and new as Sejong City, but I didn't mind that at all. I actually really liked Jochiwon and I loved my apartment. If you haven't seen my old apartment tour, I will link it in this video so you can watch it. But it was just everything I wanted, and the best part about it was that it was free. With the epik program, one of the major benefits is that you are given a rent-free apartment. But that doesn't necessarily mean that your apartment is going to be amazing and live up to your expectations. But the apartment that I was given, it was honestly perfect, and it was a little bit heartbreaking for me to leave that apartment. I had been there for a year. It was my home and I loved it, but ultimately I made the decision to move a lot closer to my school. And probably the biggest reason why I moved to Sejong City and out of Jochiwon was that my school and my apartment was really far. It took me, on a good day, 45 minutes to get to school, but usually it was about an hour or a little bit over an hour for me to take the bus from my apartment to my school and back home, which I have no problem taking the bus. That is my preferred method of transportation, even back in the States, but it was just a lot. And then if I would miss the bus, I'd have to take a taxi, and taxis in Sejong are not cheap compared to other cities. So instead of taking a 20-minute taxi ride from my apartment to school, now I can walk 15 to 20 minutes to school from my new apartment, and that has been huge, really huge. So I definitely love the convenience of being closer to my school. Where my apartment is, I am on the BRT line, so I can easily take a bus to Jochiwon. I can easily get a bus that goes straight to Daejeon Station. I can get a bus that goes to Cheongju if I want to go to the Cheongju airport. I can take a bus that goes to Osong if I want to take the KTX in Osong as well. I'm also close to the Sejong bus terminals. So if I want to take a bus instead of the train, I can also do that. So I have a lot of different transportation methods very close to me, and I'm in a really good neighborhood. There's lots of restaurants, tons of grocery stores. Everything I need is pretty much within a 5-minute walk, and my school is a 15-20-minute walk, so I'm in a really good area. And even though I'm paying a little bit more compared to my old apartment, I don't mind that at all, because fortunately with my job I can easily pay for my apartment and not, worry about paying for other things and food and traveling and things. So I just thought, why not pay a little bit more to be in a nice apartment and be closer to school? Like, I can afford it, so I'm really grateful that I got this apartment, and I'm really happy with this apartment. My old apartment, like I said, I just took whatever was given to me, so I didn't pay for rent. I didn't receive the epik allowance. So with epik, you can either take the apartment that is given to you by your school, or you can just receive the 400,000 won allowance for your apartment, which will go towards your rent. But since I just took whatever apartment was given to me, I didn't receive that money. But I do know that the rent for my past apartment was 350,000 won. So the rest of the 50,000 won from that 400,000 won was pretty much just pocketed by my school. And that's something that you won't really know unless someone tells you how much your rent is, which is kind of annoying because you're thinking to yourself, that's technically my money, like I should be getting that extra money, but it is what it is. Another thing about you taking the apartment that your school provides with you is that you don't pay the key money, your school pays that. So I guess them pocketing that extra 50,000 every month is going towards the key money that they paid for the apartment, so I guess it works out. But with my old apartment, the fees that I personally paid for was the kwanlibi, which is the management fee, and that was 30,000 won every month, and that 30,000 won included the water and the Wi-Fi, so I could use as much water as I wanted. It didn't really matter, and Wi-Fi was included with the apartment. I just had to buy a router. And I also paid for the gas and electric bill. The electric bill was always really cheap. Honestly, it was probably 10,000 won or less every month. And my gas bill, that one just depended on the seasons and how much I was using my gas, but usually it was 20,000 won, maybe 30,000 won. But in the winter, if I forgot to turn the gas off at night and left the floor heating on because it was cold, then that's when my bill could get expensive. But even to me, compared to what I've heard other people paying for, I think the highest my bill ever was maybe 70,000 won, and I know other people have gone past 100,000 won. So utilities and bills in Jochiwon were definitely a lot cheaper than they will be in Sejong City and just in an officetel in general. So now that I'm in an officetel, is a lot more expensive, and honestly some of the expenses I wasn't really aware of until after I had moved here and moved into my new apartment. Then I realized it's a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be. For this apartment, my rent is 430,000 won a month, so it's just a little bit over the 400,000 won allowance that epik gives you. So 430,000 won for rent, and then with my kwanlibi management fee plus my utilities, it should come out to somewhere between 80,000 to 100,000 a month. It just depends on a lot of factors. If I use too much electricity, like right now, I really don't need all of my lights on. I just have it on for the sake of filming this video, but usually I just have one light on and it is fine because I have a lot of light coming in from my window. If it's winter and I have the heater on, then that can get really expensive. So I suggest buying a blanket, an electric blanket, or a space heater, because that will save you a lot more money and energy. Another thing that I didn't know about an officetel until I saw some of the past bills of the person that lived here in this apartment is that when you are in an officetel, I'm not sure if all officetels are like this, but with this one, I noticed that not only do you pay for whatever you use, so whatever electricity or whatever gas you consumed, you pay for, but also you pay for the average of how much everyone in the building used. So you're paying for your own and also a small additional average of everyone. And I didn't know that before moving into an officetel, and that kind of annoys me because in the winter, if I don't use my heater but everyone else does, then that means I have to pay extra because everyone else did. And that's just a little annoying to me, but I do understand why they have these little extra fees. There's the elevator fee, the cleaning fee. They add these extra fees because there are lights on in the hallways. You know, I understand it, but I wish someone had told me before I moved into an officetel, but now I'm letting you know. Sometimes there are little fees that kind of add up. With my apartment, the management fee does not include Wi-Fi, so I have to buy my own Wi-Fi, and I pay for that separate every month, which was something else I did not know as well. When you move into your apartment, if you are going with a realtor, they pretty much expect you to pay your key money deposit. Oh, I also had to pay a key money deposit. So my key money for this room was 3 million won, which is about $3,000. And when you are moving into an apartment and you are going through a realtor, they pretty much expect you to pay everything that day. So my realtors expected me to pay my key money. They expected me to pay the first month of rent. They expected me to pay their realtor's fee. So I will put the math on the screen of how they calculated the realtor's fee. But basically all of that added up is a lot of money. So if you are planning on finding your own apartment and moving to your own apartment, save a lot of money because it is expensive, and not all realtors will let you have the chance to wait until your next paycheck and pay everything. Like, they really expect you to pay everything the day of. So how I found my apartment was that I used 2 apps basically to look around and see what the average price was around this area, and I used Jikbang and Dabang. I did not really trust everything I saw because sometimes the pictures that they use on these apps aren't real, or they just use it just so you can go through them, and then when you see the apartment it doesn't look like what you saw on the app. So just keep that in mind. But when I saw this apartment on Jikbang, I knew that I wanted it. I knew I wanted to be here. It had everything I wanted. It had a bed, so I didn't have to pay for a bed. That was the major reason why I wanted this place. And so my co-teacher called the realtor that was listed on the app, and we came and we saw it and I wanted it. I paid like a little deposit that was part of my key money so that I could reserve the room, and 3 weeks later I moved in. One thing I will say about moving in Korea is that you definitely want to do it a little bit in advance. You don't want to wait until 2 weeks before you're supposed to move out, because at least here in Sejong for sure, rooms go by super fast. When I was with my co-teacher, we would get calls from the many realtors that we contacted, and as we were in her car going to see these apartments, they would call us and say, hey, someone already took it. Hey, someone just said they wanted it. Hey, someone just paid for it. And it happened so much to the point where I thought I wouldn't have an apartment. Like, I was actually scared I wouldn't have an apartment. Like, to the point that my co-teacher even offered to have me move into her home until I could find a place. Like, it was really bad. It was really stressful. So please start ahead in advance on searching and have enough money saved up. Use many realtors, because some of them will tell you nothing is available, and then another one will be able to actually show you something. So that is also another tip. I feel like that's everything about why I moved, the cost breakdown, and how I found the place. But if you have any other questions, just leave them down below and I will try my best to answer them. I feel like this has gone super long, so without further ado, here is my apartment. Here we are in the front door of my apartment. If you've seen most Korean apartment tours, usually the apartments in Korea, you don't use a key, you put in a password. So for my door, I can either put in a password or I can use a key card. And this is how I can see who is in front of my door. In order to turn on all of the electricity and the lights in my apartment, I have to press this first. So here in my entryway, I guess, there is a huge mirror, and on my door is a bunch of restaurant coupons and just like pamphlets. I guess the person that lived here before me ate out a lot, so that's nice to know I have a lot of options near me. And here I keep a to-do list and things that I need to buy, just so I can always see it when I'm about to leave my apartment. And I have this postcard of home. Here I have a huge closet for storage. Oops. I have a huge closet for storage, so I keep my shopping bags, just things that I need for school, medicine, tissues. Here's extra storage. More storage down here. I have my face masks, my hats, and other shoes and things. And I have more storage at the top. Now, if you have ever watched Korean apartment tours or any Asian household apartment tours, then you know that usually you take off your outside shoes and put on your inside shoes, or at least socks. So, yeah. That is what this little section is for. I know my slippers have a stain. Please ignore it. I will get new ones. But here I have this space where I keep my wallet and my keys, a lint roller in case I need it, hand sanitizer because coronavirus, and this blank space that I'm not really sure what to do with. It's not magnetic, so I can't stick magnets on it. Here's where I turn on the lights in my apartment and the lights to the bathroom and the ventilator and the fan. So here you see my kitchen. There's a lot of cabinet space, which is nice, but there's not like a lot of pull-out drawers. Here's the washing machine. It doesn't have a dryer included in the washing machine, so it's just a washing machine. I have 2 burners. Up in the top, lots of things in my cabinets. Same in the bottom. Lots of stuff. And here is where I keep my trash. So because I live in an officetel, I do need to sort my trash. So when I was living in Jochiwon, sorting your trash wasn't really a thing. Like, I didn't have to separate my recyclables, I didn't have to separate the food, I didn't have to separate the general waste. I didn't even have to buy the special trash bags. I could just put it in any trash bag I wanted and just put it outside and it was fine. But here in an officetel, I do need to sort my trash. And if you don't, you could probably get a really big fine, and I don't want to get a fine. So I bought this recyclable separator from Daiso for really cheap, so that's really nice. And here is where I can control the lights in my apartment, so I can choose to have individual lights on, or I can choose to turn them all on or off. Same with the outlets. And here is to control the ondol, which I haven't touched because it's April and I don't need my room to be warm or hot or anything, so I'm pretty much not going to touch this. Here is how I can see the security camera in front of my apartment and also the security gate downstairs if someone is ringing for me to open the gate. I'm not really sure what all of this means. The only one that I know is this one, which is how to see right outside my door, and I can allow people to enter from this thing that I don't really touch. So here is my desk area. This is where I usually get ready for work. If I'm putting on makeup or doing my hair or working or eating sometimes, this is where I usually am. It looks like a mess. I'm still trying to organize everything. I have a lot of makeup, but yeah, that's it. And I hung up some watercolor paintings that I did because with all of this time of working from home, I just decided to do something that was creative and let out all that stress and energy and negativity, and I really like these, so I just decided to hang them up here. And something I really like about this table is that I can pull this out and there's another table, so it's great for if I have a huge mess here and I can't necessarily eat or work, then I can pull this out and work from here. This chair, I bought it online from Onude Jeep, and I also bought little kitten paw socks so that it wouldn't scratch my floor. So super cute. And up here I have these cabinets that I pretty much just put hair stuff, little makeup and skincare, and more storage. And I want to put some hanging plants at the top. I feel like that would look really pretty. And here, more storage. In this area, I have a sofa bed, and I bought this on the same site as I bought the chair. If you are interested in any of the things that I'm showing in my apartment tour, I will leave them down in the description box so you can check out the links. But I bought this sofa bed. It did take a little bit of time to get here, but it's actually really nice, and it comfortably fits 2 people on it. I feel like you can probably fit 3 if you squeeze, and when it folds out, it's actually really comfy. Super easy for when friends come over. Yeah, I really like it. And I also bought this table on Coupang. some of my filming stuff. And I have this wall of Polaroid pictures because I want to make a huge wall of pictures of my friends and family. So yeah, I hope that I continue this. And here in this corner, I have this shelf. I bought this shelf also on the same site as the sofa bed, and it was super easy to put together. I feel like it's really cute. On it, I have some pictures of my friends, candles, some dried flowers. And I'm not really sure what else I want to put on here. I know I want to put more plants, but I'm still trying to figure all of that out. Here in this corner, I have my mirror that I had from my old apartment. And I also added this palm tree. So this is an areca palm, also bought on the same site as most of the other furniture that I have, and I put it on top of this stool because I have a lot of really high cabinets here that I can't reach on my own. So I like that I can not only put the plant on this stool, but I can also use this to reach my microwave or reach the cabinets at the very top. And my watering can, and also my dirty laundry that I really need to wash. This is my bed. And what's really cool about my bed is that it can actually fold into the wall. So if I need extra space, or if I have friends over, or if I just want my room to look bigger, then I can actually fold my bed up into the wall and it won't disrupt the things that I have inside. And it's super cool. I really like the idea of this. And not only is it just cool, but I also didn't have to pay for a bed, which was one of the biggest things that I was looking for when I was apartment hunting. I wanted a bed that was already included in the room. It looks super plain right now. I still need to figure out how I want to decorate it. Originally, I wanted to put these posters that my boyfriend makes me every time I visit him in New York. I thought that I could fit them in there, but they're too big. They won't fit. So yeah, I need to figure out how I'm going to decorate that space. But I really love my bed. And here is my closets and microwave, oven, and fridge. So here in the closet, I have clothing, some shoes that I couldn't fit into the closet in the entryway, a big umbrella I couldn't fit into that closet, some boxes that I still haven't unpacked because I just moved here less than a month ago, and some towels, a wig head, and the drying rack that I had to buy since this place doesn't come with a dryer, and more storage for clothing, and of course, cabinet space on the top. Closet number 2, and I have more clothing that I still need to hang up and sort. My luggage, my steamer, my belts, and my socks. Here I have a mini oven that I actually got for free from another teacher, so that was super nice. I feel like it actually really fits the vibe of my apartment really well, and it was free, and I love it. And a microwave. So in this apartment, it did not come with a microwave. I had to buy this myself, which was a little annoying, but actually kind of worked out because the details actually really matched my apartment really well. And this box right here is called a styler. I'm still not fully sure what exactly it does, but from what my co-teacher says, you can actually use it to get rid of the pollution or just clean and sanitize your clothing. So if I have clothing that I wore when the air was really bad, I can put it in here and put it on some setting that'll cleanse it. I can also use this as a dryer for my clothes, which I don't plan on doing because this takes up a lot of energy and will be really expensive on the bill. But you can also steam your clothes, which would be really great. Let's say if I had a meeting with the principal or I don't know, something really, really important or special, then I could use it. But I don't really plan on using this because, like I said, it will make my bill super high. And here is my refrigerator and my freezer. Pretty standard. Up on the top I have storage, so I put my baking things up there. And in the bottom is the freezer. And here I actually keep my food waste because In Korea, you have to separate the food waste from the rest of the trash, and it can get really smelly really quickly, so it's best to keep it in the freezer. So I'll give you a pan sweep of my apartment. And the last room that we need to visit is the bathroom. So before you enter any bathroom in Korea, you do need to switch into your bathroom slippers. Here is this huge mirror with a medicine cabinet, so it's a lot of storage. So I pretty much keep my hair products, typical stuff that you would keep in your bathroom. And here is the sink and my bathroom mirror. And what's really nice about my apartment is that I have a pretty Western shower. So if you have seen my first Korean apartment tour, you will know that I don't want to say most, but you will find that Korean bathrooms have like a wet bathroom. So this shower head would actually be connected to the faucet, so you would literally shower over your bathroom sink. But mine is separate, and it actually has a big one on the top and one here, but I prefer to use this one because it actually has a shower filter. Again, if you have seen Korean apartment tour videos or even my own apartment tour video, you will know you need this because it gets nasty real quick. If I can, I'll insert a picture of my filter when I filmed my Korean apartment tour. And I added some eucalyptus because it added like this super nice touch. It looks super spa-like, and it honestly feels really relaxing. So love that. And I have this another cabinet with tissue and girly products, and I have a bidet, which is kind of cool. Here is more storage, and here is where I keep cleaning supplies and laundry supplies as well. And that's my apartment. Well, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas of how else I can rearrange things and decorate things. I'm still trying to brainstorm like what kind of other plants I want to buy, other decorations and things like that. But yeah, just let me know if you have any suggestions on what else I should do with my space. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!